Well, hello there, and welcome to this week's episode of Grow Wealthy Grooming. I am your host, River Lee, and I cannot wait to talk about today's topic. First, I want to go ahead and say thank you for everyone here on YouTube. I know this is an awkward transition. I know it would have been so much easier for everyone to watch it on Facebook, but it really does help my channel grow by all of us coming out and hanging out on YouTube. Thank you so much, Peter, Candace, Jamie, Risa, and the Social Groomer. And good guys, so much for being here and supporting me. It means the world to me. So what I would like to talk about today is, I don't know if it's going to be a little triggering. I think it's going to be eye-opening, and that is one of my favorite things to do, guys. I love to challenge what you guys are considering. Hey, and Christy. Wow, we got everyone. I'm so happy to see everyone here. And Melody. Hi, guys. I love when you're here live with me. It's just so much more fun. It really helps me. Otherwise, I just feel like I'm sitting here talking to a computer screen. Your girl's getting a little crazy just sitting here. So here is the topic of conversation tonight. Today, we are talking about Social Security. Is it enough to retire on? So one thing that had me thinking was we often have a situation where we're talking about customers that are like, I'm on Social Security, I don't have any money, which actually led me to look up what exactly is Social Security right now and how much does it provide for you. Now, this is not in context to potential customers because, you know my feeling on people buying pets. You didn't accidentally get pregnant with a Shih Tzu. You went out and you bought a $2,000-$3,000 doodle, and now you have to make the decision. And Jennifer from Pet Pursuits. Hi, Jennifer. Great to see you. So I want to share with you guys a little bit about inflation first, what inflation looks like, because then when we're looking at the numbers that actually the Social Security Administration shows us, we can kind of get a good idea. So, you guys know how much I love talking about this stuff. Helps me. So let's talk about inflation, guys. What is inflation? This year, we have to talk a lot about it because it is happening like crazy. So inflation is a general increase in prices and fall in the purchasing value of money. A great example, all about how we used to be able to buy things for a lot less. Like I saw this a lot in my shampoos. All of my shampoos went up. Everything has gone up. The prices of housing in a lot of places have gone up a lot. Hey, Kristen, great to see you. New salon's doing great. I'm so happy to hear that. It makes me tickle pink. I'm so happy to hear everything's going well. Anyway, I digress. So inflation is when basically the money we have is worth less. So here's a great example. For those of you guys that have been grooming 30 plus years, if you were charging $20 for a Shih Tzu in 1980, that means that $20 really has the buying power of about $65 today. So if you had put $20 into your savings account in 1980s, and let's say you have no interest, I know there would be interest, but let's pretend there wasn't, that would mean that it would be worth $64 today. So, in theory, right? Well, let me put it that way. Yes and no. Because obviously the $20 wouldn't grow. So it wouldn't be worth $65 today. It would mean that you would get less for your money. Because $20 is $20, right? It's not like we're going to take that $20 and then magically it's worth $65. What we mean is that if you had $20 worth of stuff, this is a better example. I actually pulled up home prices. The average home price in 1965, it was worth about $21,500 in 1965. Now the average is $340. So this is easier to understand. If you're like my grandparents who bought their house for very little money, many, many moons ago, and they paid $10,000, $15,000, $23,000. Now that house is worth $200,000 to $500,000, right? So that is basically what inflation is. And just to give you an example over the years, if I took $75 in 1965, the same year this house, right? $75 would be worth $630 today. So I would need $630 to be worth $75 that long ago. And again, just to put in perspective, we talked about $20, right? From 1980 was worth $20 is now 65. And I'm dyslexic. I didn't keep my numbers straight. And then if we said, okay, what about $45? So for those of you guys that were charging $45 for Shih Tzus, I know not many of you, but some of you people were. That means that it would have the same purchasing power of $145 today. That means that it has inflated $100 over about 41 years, which is nuts, right? That's an enormous amount of money. And I just had this moment where I'm like, wait a minute. 90? I'm like, that can't be right. 1980 is 41 years ago. That can't be right, is it? Am I that? I'm getting old, man. I'm just having a moment here. Don't mind me. Oh my goodness. I'm just having a moment. I'm like, 1980? I'm like doing the math and I'm like, oh my God, that was 40 years ago. It's like when you're like, oh yeah, like I remember 1990, like party like it's 1999. And then you're like, wait, it was like 30 years ago now. Not literally, like 20 years ago, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I digress. Sorry, having an existential crisis right here on camera. So I wanted to first talk about that because they're going to try to show what money is worth today for Social Security. And then we're going to look at what their future dollars, because they do projections. However, I don't think, honestly, and call me if I'm wrong, that these people really thought this money was going to be worth so much. Like, even like here where I just moved in South Carolina, it's so interesting because everyone's like, oh, I wish I had bought a house 10 years ago, because they had no idea land down here that was worth peanuts, like $30,000 20, 30 years ago is now worth millions of dollars. So we don't know how inflation is going to work because there's also supply and demand, right? But let's go ahead and start looking at, if I can get it up. Don't mind me, I'm trying to make my thing fancy. Hopefully we can see this. Fingers crossed. Oh God, don't mind me. I need computer to do what I need to do. Computer. I'm going to keep playing with it. But basically, I want to look at, okay, how much money is there available, and is it about right? Aha, I found it. Candace is saying Social Security stays the same. It doesn't go up like inflation. Don't rely on it. Absolutely. But hang on. You're stealing my thunder here, girl. Hang on. We'll get there. So here's the thing. It will, quote unquote, go up, but not with the rise of everything. Now, I'm hoping you guys can see this. And if you can't, please go ahead and type in the chat below. But it is not easy to get this thing to look bigger. So this is a Social Security quick calculator. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to really quickly put in for some of our lovely older groomers, not old, older. Let's say they're born in June 15th, 1965, and enter their current earnings for the year. So we're going to say that they're currently earning $60,000. Now, as much as I love you all, a lot of you guys are not, putting in that you're earning that much, right? A lot of us are, well, let's be honest here, lying on your taxes. And I'm not here to be the tax police, right? I am not the IRS. So let's say you were born in 1965. You're currently earning $60,000 as a groomer. You're actually paying taxes on it all. You are pulling your Social Security out. And your plan is to retire at 65. So, future retirement date option. So, hang on. So let's say you're going to make $60,000 until you're 65, and then you plan on retiring at 65. Okay, so we're going to do that in today's dollars. So we're going to click that real quick, and hopefully you can see it. So if I was born in 1965, I'm earning 60,000. I'm going to take the benefit when I'm, all right, so if I'm 62 in 1 month in 2027, sorry, dyslexic, I have to be very careful with my numbers. My monthly benefit amount will be $1,244, guys. That barely pays for my coffee, right? If I take it when I'm 67 in 2032, it's going to be less than $1,900 a month. And if I wait till I'm 70 and almost dead, right? Not literally, don't get mad at me, older groomers. But I mean, working as a groomer till I'm 70? Hell no. And that would still only be $2,400 a month. So let's go ahead really quickly. Whoop, I need to fix that so you can see my lovely face. So if I'm making $60,000, and I'm not going to take money out for taxes because I'm being very lazy, take $60,000, we're going to divide it by 12 months. So I went from having $5,000 a month to $1,250, $1,900, $2,400, like half. Now, that's awful. I want you to consider where exactly or what exactly you would, as I screw up my screen, don't mind me. Just some days, some ways, you know, trying to do my best here, people. So let's go really quickly, and hopefully this screen will work for us. I'm going to go ahead and look up median rent. Let's do, why not? Let's look up, what's a good retirement city? Let's look up Florida, right? I don't know what's a good city in Florida, but let me see if I can figure that. I'm going to move this over here. Oh, that's not going to help me. Darn it. So computer. Let's see if I can. Nope, that makes it worse. Don't mind me. La la la. Haha, figured it out. Boop. Now I moved it. Oh, here we go. So we haven't, so that's Gig Harbor, WA. Average rent. Here we go. Kristen saying, sorry, I'm back. Had to jump off to book a new dog. Exciting. Highest price here. People still book. It's going to years to go to prices. I'm so happy. Listen, I love when you guys succeed. It makes me so happy. So what we're looking at here right now is the average rent in Gig Harbor. And this is in Washington State. Okay. And it's saying the average rent is $1,738 and a 10% increase from the previous year when the average rent was, I know you can't see it, but it says $1,575. So right now, if I am on Social Security, not that you can see this, now you can. I'm not going to even be able to afford to pay my rent unless if I wait till I'm 70. And assuming I put $60,000 into retirement, into Social Security, I'm sorry, every year. So let's say I'm like most of us lovely groomers, and I am only going to put in, let's say $32,000. Okay. So let's say I'm going to put $32,000. I'm still going to retire at 60. And let's put this in here. Well, if I had only put in $32,000, which I love a lot of you guys, a lot of guys will do this. This means if I retire at 62, I'm going to get less than $900 a month, guys. At 67, less than 13, and at 17, less than $1,700. So some of you guys are like, well, that person's much older than me. That's not me. But I want you to just consider that amount of money, there's literally nothing you can do. You're going to be impoverished. In fact, let me look up right now. Poverty line in, I looked up Rhode Island. We don't need to look up this is in Washington State. Okay, here we go. Boop. So as you can see, this person And this is as of 2014. This is not even right now. I'm sorry, 2016 is 23,000. So if I take in again, you can see my lovely face. We're going to take that 23,850. Now this is in 2016. This is before COVID, before all of that inflation. You divide that by 12. So somebody who makes the less than $2,000 a month in Washington State is in poverty. So what this is showing us, guys, is that if you rely on the government to take care of you, you are probably going to end up impoverished, right? As you can see here, this person right here, you know, they're not going to be able to make their ends meet. So, and I'm not saying this because we need to feel bad for people that are on Social Security, right? Because ultimately, this was their decision to trust the government. And, you know, I don't care if you're on the left side or the right side, or if you're, I tend to be very libertarian. That's not easy. So let's take somebody who's born in the 80s, right? And they're going to earn this amount of money. They want to retire early. They want to retire at, let's say, 50. Okay. So, oh, you can't see it. Let me put my screen back on. There we go. So we're going to say they're born June 16th, 1988. We can do 85. Let's do 85 because that way we have nice even round numbers. And again, let's say they're making $60,000 right now. But they want to retire when they're 50, right? You know, and so they're not going to earn any more money after they're 50, but they're not going to touch their Social Security till they're 65. So let's look at today's dollars and then let's get inflated numbers. So as you can see, this is still not great, guys. Right? So they're going to have 12 years of zero income, and then they're going to get a little benefit of less than $1,500. Or at 67, $2,200. And when they're 70, they'll get $2,700. Now, let's go back and see their best estimate for inflated dollars. Isn't it crazy, guys, how much they expect our money? This is the government. The government expects, let me do this real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this. And I'm going to go back. I just want you to see, I wish I could do this side by side. I'm sorry I can't. So this almost $1,500, guys, is going to be worth $3,700. Think about that. Right? And that is, let me look. I gotta do some math. If someone's born in, that is in 2047 minus, what year are we? 2021. So the next 26 years, they expect our money to be worth less than half. Isn't that nuts, guys? It's based on assumed increases in prices or earnings. Now remember, this is what they assume between inflation and increasing. That's not good, guys. That means that we really have to take a look at how we are going to save for retirement for ourselves. Now, retirement means different things to different people. As you guys know, I teach a class called Personal Finance on a Leash. Right now, we're only doing a self-study option. And honestly, the reason why is because we are going to be coming out with a brand new version, a more robust version. This year has had so many changes that we have to go through the class and update it. So we're offering self-study so you can get started today. And then when you come into next year, you're going to get the new updated version as well. So you can learn how to budget. You can learn how to start saving for retirement, all of those things. And then also be able to turn around and hopefully save for some retirement and make your life better. So why am I talking about Social Security? I'm talking about Social Security because I'm not unsympathetic to those people that are saying, I don't have extra money to pay for their pet. They really don't, guys. But just like if you buy a Mercedes car, you know, just like you make life choices, it's up to them to make choices, and, they could do many different things. The house they also bought for 25, what was it? Hang on. If they bought their house in 1965 and it was $21,000, it's now worth $340,000. So yes, you don't have any liquid cash. However, they could honestly pull out $100,000 and live high on the hog. That's completely their choice. And if they want to leave it to their kids, that has nothing to do with me, right? You could always leave it to the dog groomer. You could always leave it to the cat groomer. That's always an option too. So I'm just joking, by the way. Although I do know groomers who are in people's wills. So is Social Security enough? No, it's definitely not. And I think most of us kind of knew that. But I think this is a real earth-shattering awakening for a lot of us. Because right now we're like, oh, in future money, that's not bad. $3,600 a month. But as we saw with inflation, that money's that's not gonna help you enough. All right? We need to build wealth in other ways. We need to create long-term wealth. That is, and I suggest that by getting out of debt, taking your money and setting it aside to have an emergency fund, buying a house, or investing the money you would have paid into a house into the stock market. And the stock market's not 100% right now either. This is a crazy time that we are living in, but we need to start saving for retirement as groomers. The government is definitely not going to help us. And it's not going to be easy. So I want you guys to really consider how you're going to start saving for retirement. And, like I said, I don't have a sales pitch for my personal finance on a leash. I really should. I'm going to put the sales page right there in the chat box real quick. That way, if you guys are interested in signing up, I really would consider it. I love my personal finance on a leash class. It's amazing. And like I said, we're going to be updating that next year. And we're working on that now. It's going to be up, I would say, realistically in the next, oh God, I feel like, don't quote me. We're probably going to launch it for the beginning of next year. And the reason we're going to wait till next year is, like I said, I want to see how everything's playing out. I want to be able to update it in a way that we're going to be able to give you the best knowledge that we possibly can. We've learned so much by teaching over 100 people about personal finance on a leash. And now we're going to be able to take it a next step up. And there are two different options. Actually, I could probably pull up my, where is that? Don't mind me. All right, here we go. Yeah. I know, I'm like, wee. So we've a couple of different options. Woo. Don't mind me. La, la, la. I know. Boop. So you can do different ways to sign up. We have a 3-month pay at $249. Or you can purchase it all for $5.99 today. It is a self-studied course. It's 12 weeks of guided. And you can do it as fast as you want. There's nothing to do. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. It's a great option. I'm going to put that right now in the chat box so I don't forget. So, I really think that's one of the best things you can do. Now, if you're like, I don't have the money for that. Well, I'm going to sell you another thing that you don't have the money for, but it's going to make you more money. And you're going to hear lots of people in the chat who have taken my price increase master course and have really run with it. It is a class I'm super proud of. I'm proud of everything I do, but this price increase class has really changed so many lives. Our next live for this is going to be October 4th. And I will say that we're probably not going to be doing another live masterclass for price increase until next year. We may only shift this to self-study. We have not decided. We have other masterclasses that are coming down the pipeline, and I want to make sure that I take time to do those things as well. I'm trying to do this whole work-life balance thing that I tell everyone else to do, trying to take it seriously. It's not easy. and we're constantly shifting and learning new things. Oh, thank you so much, Candace. She said price increase is amazing. I really feel like this class is life changing, not just because I created it, but because I see the results from it. And it makes my heart so full to see so many people taking control of their lives, earning more money, and hopefully taking that money and doing good things with it, guys. Don't just take it and blow it on Starbucks. Don't do what I would do. No, just kidding. Get debt free, start making savings, and then also start saving for retirement. So if you're interested in my 6-week masterclass, I'm going to put it in the chat below. It's savvygroomer.com/price increase. If I spell it right. I really need to figure out a way. Oh, crap. I did. This is why I really need to hire someone to just come in and put in the little things that I need done. I cannot spell. It's fine. Some days your girl is just a hot mess express. And I feel like people respect that, because you know what? You know that I'm a real person, and there's not much else I can do. All I can do is be me, right? And those that don't like that, there's not much I can do about it. If it is what it is. It's all good. But I want to thank you guys so much for being here. I hope this was super eye-opening. I know I haven't really been able to give you an, oh my God, now that I have this information, what do I do? But I think the main thing for me to tell you is either earn more money at this moment or get your finances on a leash. And the reason we want to do that is because before we even begin really saving for retirement, before we really get into these other things, I need you to have control. And then you might need more money in order to have control. And some of you guys just need to get on a written budget and learn how to have a good relationship with your money. Either way, guys. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you so much for being with me. I love when you guys are here live with me. It makes it so much more enjoyable. I won't lie, when you guys aren't here with me, I'm like, man, this sucks. I'm just talking to me, looking at me, and it's always awkward making contact. Either I'm looking right at the little green dot on my camera, or I'm looking down at my forehead, and either way, it's not the best. So I love looking over a chat and see you guys comment. It really means a lot to me. If you have not already, please subscribe. If you would like to hit like or possibly share this video, please feel free to. The more people we get to know this content, the better we will be. We have over 1,000 people, but because I was streaming it through Facebook, we do not have enough hours to monetize. And I'm really excited when we get to be having this monetized, because once it's monetized, I can afford to do more free things. And I like doing free because I think there's so many amazing things I can do for paid customers, but not everyone's ready to invest in their business, or not everyone can at this moment. So I like to be able to share things with everybody. So you guys have a great night. Good night, Christy. She's saying have a good night. Bye. All right, guys. It was so awesome to talk with you. If you have not already either, please feel free to join my free Facebook group, Savvy Prep Professionals, where we talk about personal finance, business, and lifestyle. That's one of the easiest ways to get answers from me. I am in other Facebook groups. I spend the most time in my free private group. In my paid groups too, but you have to buy things to get into those. So when you buy stuff, you're going to get in those groups too. No worries. You just spend lots of time with me. Who doesn't want to do that? All right, guys, take it easy. And always. Oh, good night, Sarah. Have a great night. All right, guys, have a great night. Happy grooming.